a goddamn healthcare center. Oh no, my back hurts. Oh no. There's some cute gentleman that's running away. He's later going to be caught at a McDonald's. I don't like narcs, but goddamn $60,000. Times are tough, motherfuckers. Woo! Get in the Cadillac, get to justice. But I know no one will mourn this dead man. His compatriot stepped over him. We don't do that at Helltown. We moonwalk with you. We dance around your graves. You know why? Because spooky as shit. You know also why? Because we probably grew weed on your fucking funeral. Ooh. Woo! Guess what? It's like Method Man and Red Man. This is how I had a bad day.
Hey, that was a good one, man. That was a good one. It had current events. It had cannabis. It had friendship. It had a whole lot of stuff.
Had heavy breathing.
That's a given, man. We're just a couple of
heavy breathing,
hefty dude. We're a couple husky brothers on the microphone, but there's gonna always be some mouth breathing, but not like James Gandolfini level. You ever notice that in The Sopranos, how hard of a mouth breather he was? Oh my god, it was like it was
distracting.
Yeah, that was my next statement.
I was always like, why is he breathing so hard? Is that part of his character?
Like, Christopher, I'm gonna put the gabagool on you.
And the scenes where he would be eating at the same time.
Well, you know what? In TV and film, usually, if you ever watch closely in food scenes, they don't swallow. You'll never see him swallow because they have to do take after take after take. So they just spit the food. They usually just chew it up and spit it out. And that's why a lot of times too they just sit there shoveling it while they're going because they want to keep going with the lines. And they don't want to swallow. But on The Sopranos, when they did the scenes with the food, they actually were eating. And they would go to like really nice restaurants. Would eat, and they were catered by like really famous places. So they were actually eating in all of the scenes that they did. Huh. It also explains why like the average waist size of the cast was like 47. Like those dudes, oh my god! You know what though? Good for them though. They did make chubby sexy to a certain extent. Like it was cool, man. Like as a chubby guy, I appreciate that. Sorry, Dedrick. But you got the rugged handsome thing going on, so you can do it all. That's good. All right.
Oh yeah, we're back. Introduce yourselves, people.
Hi, I'm Lita. I do art stuff, and I'm also here on the show. You can find my Instagram page. Well, that is __ if you want to look at my art, or you can find me on Facebook because that's where I am, Lita Diamond.
Yes, my name is Christopher Kenworthy. I am here on the Helltown Radio production with my friends George and Lita, as always, and today with our special guest, none other than Dedrick Brooks, the saucier from San Antone. Oh, not from Houston. Sorry, he's the haberdasher from Houston. The haberdasher from Houston.
Haberdasher.
Yeah, man.
I'm not from Houston, though. I'm like 2 hours north of Houston. I just want to let everybody know that, just in case you try to,
fact check
me on that.
We're gonna come fact check you. Yeah, we know the street cred. We know you don't have the swangers on your car.
Yeah.
Although that would be awesome if you got some for the sprinter. They wouldn't
know how to act about it.
Oh man, yeah. But so Dedrick actually is on with us. He is a veteran of the Marine Corps. He is the proprietor and owner of Shenandoah Shores Management Group Concierge Service. Also a sommelier. You're at Crimson Vineyards, right?
No, I'm nowhere.
You're nowhere? Oh,
nowhere. I'm a free agent.
Free agent. He's a gun for hire out there. If anybody's in,
he's a cowboy on a steel horse I ride.
Well, he actually has several steeds in his stable, if you will. He also has got a lot of Beckys in his stable.
nice segue. Nice segue that one.
But he's so Shenandoah Shores Management Group is a limousine and concierge service based out of our neighborhood. Actually, we are neighbors. And Dedrick has a fleet of luxury vehicles that
let me give him 30 seconds.
Go. You go. You talk.
The camera's right there. You can look right into it.
Look right in the camera.
How y'all doing?
Whip it out if you want to.
Everybody else wants to see it. All right. So again, my name is Dedrick Brooks. I'm the owner of Shenandoah Shores Management Group, SSMG Concierge for short. What we do is we specialize in taking people to the wineries, the breweries, the distilleries, the cideries, and the meaderies. That's too long to say, so we call them libation stations. We also do airports, weddings, sporting events, concerts, personal driving, anything you need to get you from point A to point B so that you don't have to do it because you want that convenience factor. or because you want to drink but don't want to drive.
That was impressive, man.
You like that?
Yeah, you need to do that on the radio.
I practice that a lot.
Okay.
Practice.
I can dig it, man.
So you're a limousine driving.
I'm a limousine driving, jet plane flying.
Woo! All right. Yeah. But I don't have a limousine though. So limousines, they're too long and take up too much space. I like small, intimate groups. So Mercedes Sprinter van is about the biggest one I got.
Oh,
I think that like stretch.
pimping.
I think stretch limousines too. It like back in like the '80s when we were kids, it was like a status. Remember, it was a status.
Oh,
If
yeah.
you were rich, you had a stretch limousine. And then like I didn't ride in one until my prom. And I got in one for prom, and it was like, this is terrible. Like it was like so.
Really?
I rather,
First time I got in one was a funeral. So
Yeah, I don't really. We had one at our wedding, which was cool. I guess I think it's a novelty.
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine having a regular stretch limo as a ride.
right now there's some dude driving around in a limo being like, "This is the best life ever."
But you know what though? The limo is cool only unless it's cut off in the back. It has a pool in the back with a bunch
Uh-oh.
of Beckys
Yeah.
in the back seat.
Ooh,
Yes,
that
always.
sounds-
See,
I
one?
drove
Yes.
in I got to ride in a stretched like some sort of like SUV 2 years ago, and that shit was swank. It had a bar in there. It had a bartender inside. Like,
Well, that's
it was
way
all
better than the ones
lit
I've been
up,
in.
Did it
and
have a
there's-
pole in there?
Yeah, no,
Did it?
no,
Nah, you didn't do it right there.
no.
You do
There
it
was
right
no pole. I mean, there was poles on the side so that you can walk back and forth without falling.
They have an
And the
Escalade
chairs were really
Yeah.
I was
limo.
like, it's really nice. Maybe
Now-
that
now
was
you-
what
now you-
I wrote.
you're
It
doing
was
too
was
much now.
crazy. It was huge. It was a huge SUV and it was stretched. And
It was probably a
like
Hummer.
it was like a party inside. It was awesome.
The I think the H2 was a very popular model of the stretch SUVs when they came out.
It's a stretch Rolls Royce Phantom.
Dude, there's a
Yeah,
stretch
who got that
Lamborghini.
kind of Rolls Royce Phantom money right now? Hold on.
Nobody.
I need a
I don't think anybody. They have a fucking Jesus Christ, an Excel Fleet limo. It's like this shit is like a 1940s Cadillac with like flares and everything.
I haven't seen like an actual limo in a while.
Yeah.
Like
Oh man,
and the one I rode in was Florida, and
Yeah, like the
Florida,
insurance has
like,
got to be held because
Miami
they're probably
is full
hitting,
of
especially
those.
like around here. You'd probably go to a lot of DC, and all the streets narrow. There's probably lots of them that have side damage all over them.
Probably so.
dude, when I was cooking in DC and hanging out like at the Cowboy Cafe all the time, there was a guy, and I'm drawing a blank on his name, and I'm gonna text the homies in a minute to ask. But he used to have like an older limo, but he treated it like a cab. Like you just paid regular cab fare, but you could get a ride in like an old school like box style limo. So we would hire him all the time to go from place to place. So we did. It was fun when it was that aspect because it was just like we were just like rolling. It was like, yo, I mean, fuck it. If you're gonna pay for a cab, you might as well pay for the limousine. I guess ironically, considering conflicting statements that I've just made here, but that's the white guy in me. But it was fun. I remember there was one time we went. It was the day that it was supposed to be the Rapture. Do you remember that? And so my friend Jeff Cole's the guy who owns Golden Age and The Mirror and Never Looked Better, and Kelly Lloyd. I forget where she's at these days, but she's also a veteran of the DC restaurant game. And Matt Culbertson. I don't know if you guys remember him. He came and worked at Vinova during the pandemic. Good homie of mine. Used to own the Cowboy Cafe. We got the guy with the limo to come pick us up, and they had a bunch of clothes, and I didn't know what the fuck was going on. They're like, come on, just come with us. And so they went to the mall, and they made it look like piles of clothes, like people had been zapped into the Rapture.
Oh shit.
Yeah, that was a fun
awesome.
limo. Yeah, fun limo experience. I had a really shitty limo experience. It was, you remember when the locusts came? Remember when like there was like do you remember when all the cicadas came? Like it was like what, 5 or 6 years ago?
yeah.
Yeah. So my buddy got married that day, and it was the hottest day of the year. It was mid-July. It was the hottest day of the year. We were in 3-piece tuxedos, and he rented a limo from like these like Russian dudes, and he was like, "Hey, I got a good deal on it." And we get in the limo, and the air conditioning is broken. So it's 10 dudes, like, and we're talking about like not small dudes, 10 dudes, and like 6 chicks, and like it was just the most. And so I think that's where my negative experience was that I'm like drawing from, because it was the last time I was in a limousine.
It was terrible.
Yeah, it was not exciting by any means, but I don't know. I'm trying to think if I've had any other experience. I mean, have you? What's your limit? Do you have any? I'm sure this dude right here. I mean, like as I said in my joke,
One time that I've been in a limo.
Really, it's
I probably have, but I can't remember.
that's what
why it's not that memorable experience.
I'm glad that you had a great experience. That's awesome.
It was wild, man.
I guess because
we got super drunk before we got to the event, and I don't remember the event unfortunately, but it was still fun.
I like the service that Dedrick provides because you get it like he has nice vehicles, but it's like you're being driven, you have enough leg space to kick out, you can whatever.
Yeah.
It's luxury. I actually had the pleasure of
COVID friendly.
Yeah.
Small intimate spaces.
Yeah, it's nice.
Nobody needs a limo.
The Traverse is where it's at though. I was lucky enough to I was lucky enough to drive for Dedrick last year.
You drove a Traverse. I love that.
Well, he had
spacious.
It's so practical,
so
so spacious.
It's powerful,
inconspicuous too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got a lot of oomph to it. It handles well. The Escalade was awesome. The Escalade's like driving a tank, and people because it's an Escalade for whatever reason, people are just like, yeah, I'm gonna get the fuck out of the way. Like you just drive, people get out of your way, and
I'm thinking about going the opposite of a limo. I'm gonna go micro.
You go smart car?
Yeah, we're gonna do smart car, but it's gonna have a pool in it. It's a finger pool, but there will be a pool. You can be like,
dude, this is like a bad episode of Pimp My Ride.
Yo, I got a water bottle.
You can rest your hand in this bowl of water.
You're a lifeguard. We think you should have a pool in your car. Yeah, that was it. Yeah, it was fun. I've driven all of them. The Sprinter. I remember that one early morning one I did when it was the ice storm. That was exciting.
A harrowing task.
It was it was exciting. It was humbling. It was exciting. It was a lot of stuff. But yeah, it was just interesting because you had I think I drove all of them. They were super fun, man. But yeah, the Traverse, Chevy Traverse, guys, great car, great vehicle.
What is that like? Is that like the new Blazer?
We're trying to get monetized.
Yeah, let's do it.
What class is that in?
It's in the mid-size class. Listen, it's big enough to fit in.
Yeah.
It's spacious enough. You can throw your bags in the back, and then you can sit the fuck in the back seat and not say nothing and go to sleep and be fine. Or if you want to listen, we'll talk to you too, just like this. But yeah, it's nice.
Yeah, every time I've been in like any type of vehicle driven by somebody else where I had to sit in the back, like an Uber or what cab or whatever, I've most likely been very, very high or drunk, so I don't want to say anything to them. I'm like, let's keep this.
And
Can I give you money?
And that can happen too, all the way to the airport or wherever you're going. You want a quiet ride? We'll have a quiet ride. Real quiet. Make it real awkward.
What road are we on?
Don't matter. Just go. GPS. Watch it.
Dude. Yeah. That would suck if you got in a car and you got in the wrong one and they took you it could be serial killer. Next thing you know, you're on some back road.
That's actually happened before. There are some
what?
that are like,
yes, all the time.
Don't you watch?
No, I don't watch murder.
Crime?
No, I don't watch true crime.
Well, those things don't happen with SSMG Concierge. Yeah. We make sure you get to
your
private destination that you're going to.
They're not going to unalive you.
Do you hold signs for people to have their name on them?
Hell no. I just what you got on? You got a hat? Cool. And then most of the time I know the people too. So.
Yeah, you do have a regular client base, which is cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're always confused when they see me pick them up. They're like, "Oh shit!" They're like, "Dedrick got hijacked. Dedrick's dead."
No, I tell them in the head. I just don't tell them what you look like.
Like Barney Rubble will be pulling up on the scene.
It may be Chris. He may be a short white guy with tattoos and glasses.
Have you ever thought about getting him one of those old timey outfits with a little hat on it?
Man. Had on last night, bag of Vans. Yeah, a little bag of Vans. Yeah, why not? Yeah,
not even smaller. Like the 1930s ones.
That's, just right the top of your dome.
No.
I think I had two I would say superlatively like weird experiences driving for you. I don't know if I ever told. I mean, I'm sure I told you or you might have heard, but the one time was the guy who won the lottery 4 times.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, this guy won the lottery 4 times, and he got in the front seat of the car. His girlfriend, or his now wife, got in the back seat. He sat up front and just was like, he started talking from the minute he sat down, but he was super cool. And so then he's like, we get to his house, and he's like, we've been talking on the way. He's like, oh, I watch VHS tapes because I don't like technology and all this stuff. And I'm like, what? And I'm like, oh, I collect VHS tapes myself. He's like, oh, well, when we get to the house, you're going to have to come in. And I was like, all right. So you get to the crib, and it's I mean, he's established. He's got a lot of money, but it's like not like over the top. It's just a nice like country farmstead. has a yes, that is the outfit.
We're not gonna appropriate ourselves that way.
No, he looked like
Well, hello there, Mr. Clark. How are you today?
He's driving
sir?
Miss Daisy, but goddamn, y'all ain't gotta say it like that. Like, we ain't trying to make that big of a mistake. Miss Daisy be nice though. Listen, but that dude there, a nice house, like you said, like a country type house, but not over the top. But yeah,
when you go
from
inside,
the minute you get in the car to the minute you drop him off, he is go time.
Did you go inside his crib?
Hell no.
Okay, I did. So
I
I
tell
did.
me, divulge.
It was the most insane thing ever. It was like literally like one of those like movie scenes where you walk into another dimension through like
Where
through a
people
threshold.
have lots of money, and you're like, whoa.
No, this was the
No?
wild thing. So the outside of it is totally updated. It's like modern. It's just a modernization of a classic look. It's you can tell they're using like the weatherproof panel, like not paneling, but like the nice materials. It's a blue and white motif. It's great. You go inside the house and like it is like Back to the Future. You jump back to 1979.
Nice.
So
And
basically, it's the catamount of houses.
Yeah, exactly. No, that's
That's
no
a great
bullshit.
way to
It
explain it.
looks like the back. It looks like Chris's den at the Catamount, but in the back. So it's all knotty pine paneling. They had the TV, the one, the cabinet TV, the
Oh
one
my
that like
God,
the
so
7,000
classic.
pound.
He can't-
That's
Yeah,
badass.
He had
So-
that, records, eight tracks, and VHSs. And then he had like old, like he had magazines from like 1985 in there too. Like I swear, like I think that he like this dude. I mean, obviously he won the lottery 5 times. I think he's a time traveler. He just has like, he was just fucking with me. He's like, yo, he's like, honey, do the trick where I take the people back to 1985 and then send them back to 2023. That's when it was. And yeah, it was fantastic, man. But he was super cool. He was very generous, and he explained to me how he won his money, and that was pretty intense. Like he's got a very interstellar connection, and so but yeah, but I think it was, you walk in there, like I said, it was just like that, but everything was so crisp. It's not like anything was dusty or yellowed or musty or smoke smelling. Everything,
Musty.
it was like going back in. I think there was
He's a collector of good antiques.
Man,
nice.
oh my God, it was yeah, everything was so nice. Like everything. The couches were just like crocheted couches and shit.
Did he have like that synced in, like kind of like
The conversation
yeah,
pit.
yeah. Remember
No,
those things
yeah,
back
yeah,
in the
yeah.
70s?
Oh, yeah.
No, not one of those.
Yeah, if
Nah,
I ever
I
I
want
get,
one of those. So
It was more
bad.
like
yeah.
grandma's basement, more than like your like sexy aunt and uncles, swingers palace.
Gotcha.
It was but yeah, it was that was one time, and then the other time was I dropped off. It was when I dropped this kid. He lives out in Clark County. You take his family all the time. He's like they got a farmhouse thing out in the middle of Clark County, and I dropped this kid off, and I don't see a car for 30 minutes while I'm out there. I mean, it's like they're just the big single family homes that are out in the farm area. I drop him off, and then all of a sudden I see headlights for the first time in a half hour, and I'm like, all right, fuck it. And I'm outside, so I'm outside the car smoking a cigarette because I don't want to smoke in the car. And I get in there, I'm sitting outside smoking, and this car pulls up, and it's like behind me, and I'm in the Traverse, and I'm wearing a pea coat, and I had just got my hair cut, so I probably might have looked like maybe I might have been a cop or something. And I was like, oh no, it's like just go around me, and so this car pulls up on the other side of the street. And I'm like, oh shit! And I've been watching a lot of true crime at this point in time, so I'm like, oh fuck! I was like, what is about to go down? Because it was like 3 people in the car, or 4 people in the car, and it was a little compact car, so it wasn't like another. I knew it wasn't law enforcement, and like also the door opens and there's a little voice like, "Hey, Chris, man," and it's fucking Jake Cohn, our local country star sensation, Jake Cohn, and we knew each other from our experience at the monument, and I seen his come up, and we got a good friendly relationship. He's like, dude, I was just telling my friends that I knew the guy on the side of the road over there, and they didn't believe me. And he was on tour. He was on national tour. He just played at the Grand Ole Opry, and this was the day after he played at the Grand Ole Opry and signed his deal to Atlantic. So I caught this kid like fresh off that, and I was like, that was another weirdo story that happened in the middle. He actually put it on his we did some selfies, and he actually posted a story about it on his Facebook. I felt like a celebrity for 5 minutes.
This is why when I get ready to write this book, I'm gonna need you to help recant some of these stories, because I'm like, you told me this, but Now I can write it down.
Yeah,
Confessions
man.
of a Concierge coming out in 2025. Just remember that.
Yeah.
So what was
Shameless plug.
So what's your craziest story? I know you have a few. I know you.
Yo,
have
this dude
more
is
than
the
a
Diddy
few.
of Front Royal.
So not really just really crazy, but I mean, you hear a lot of people talk about a lot of different things, right? So whether they're your recurring clients or whether they're somebody that you just met because they found you on the internet, their friend told them about it, whatever, right? So you just hear just a lot of odd conversations to where I'm an official therapist, but unofficial. So when you get in my car, whatever stays in the car, it stays in the car.
So like a bartender?
Yeah, like a bartender. Confession of a Concierge coming out in 2025. Anyway, but yeah, so I mean, you just hear the wildest shit, and especially if they're doing a wine tour where they're drinking,
Oh,
to
yeah.
where they want to be able to just drink and cut loose and whatever, so they don't have to drive.
Unloading.
Oh yeah.
Did you know Tina's mother is a whore?
Yeah, we all knew that. Yeah.
Tina.
Like, where's Tina's mother? And does she have a pimp?
Man.
Tina's mother makes money from
Another option you can get through this SSMG is no, just kidding.
Tina's mother.
Tina's mom and her right labia.
And Stacy's mom, because she got it going on.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna repeat all the white things that I know. I heard that in a song once.
that's awesome.
It's good. Yeah.
Man, that was like you were at Hog Shack the other day when that dude was like, "Yo, what to do, Betty Boo?" And I was like, "Oh man, thanks God." And then he said back, he was like, fire back Cracker Jack or something. It was the coolest black thing. It was the funniest black thing I've heard in like years because it was like so throwback, but it was so vintage, but at the same time it was so fresh because he just brought it. He did it himself. It wasn't like he was emulating anybody. Shout out to Red Williams, by the way. He's hopefully you're watching, bud. Yeah, dude. He that was Red. I mean, Red. He was funny as fuck, dude. Like, yeah, he was funny as fuck, man. Like he just got. You know what? I think he like. No offense to my man K Squizzy who won that night, his second time winning. We all know Squizzy's funny and shit, but
Yeah.
this dude guy, I think he should have won based off the fact that he had the one heckler in the room, the drunk cowboy.
Oh, shit.
This motherfucker was like just trying to take. He just took over his time, but the dude did well by Red did really well about how he handled it. I think it was a good exemplification of how to tame a heckler, but it also is an exemplification of like how to you got to cut them off before they take over your time. And,
Oh, yeah.
I thought it was staged the way he handled it. Like, he really did a good job of interacting back and forth. It took up a lot of his time, but I thought he was staged to be there. That's my first time being there. I ain't know what the fuck's going on.
Yeah, you rolled in. It was so funny because we just been talking about the light fight, which we'll talk about in just a moment. Lauren and I were talking about the light fight, and Tina was like, "Oh, who's doing this?" And we're like, "Oh, it's our friend Dedrick." And they're like, "Oh yeah, I think I know him." Blah blah blah. And then you walked around the corner, and it was like, yeah, dude, it was wild as hell.
You got to click the hills 3 times and now appear.
Yeah,
like a genie.
you gotta tap. You gotta tap your Newport box 3 times, and Dedrick appears. Oh man. So the light fight. Tell us about what is the light fight? What's that all about? What's going down?
All right. So the light fight is a Christmas light competition, right? So first off, I didn't put this together.
A light fight.
Yeah, Lori Oates. She's a realtor around here. She
sold me our house.
There
Yeah.
you go. So, okay, so you know her. So I guess
Yeah.
she got this inspiration from years ago, 4, 5, 6 years ago, maybe down in Richmond. All these people put up the Christmas lights, whatever. People drive around and go look at it, right? So she organized this to where all the houses or businesses that want to participate in it, they can decorate their house, they take pictures of it, and then the winner wins $1,000, so on and so forth, right? So she's been doing it for this is the 4th year now, right? So essentially, all the houses get put up and all that good stuff like that. So what my company does, we take people around on that route. So the trolley, the Holly Jolly trolley, they did it last year.
Hey, bring the mic a little bit closer to
A
you.
little close to me.
Yeah,
I'm a podcast version, so here we go.
Yes, he is. He's
But
not.
yeah, so
Be gentle with
He's used to dangling in front of the face, not having it dangling.
right,
in
it's
front of
weird.
the
It's
face.
weird the other way, and it's Rudolph too. So, but yeah, so she basically designed that or whatever. So all the houses that participate in it has a route. So you drive around the route. People can look at the lights. I like this one. I like that one. And they judge and they win $1,000 or whatever, right? So what my company does is we're taking people around on that tour. Because like I said, the Holly Jolly trolley tour or whatever, they did it last year, but they ran out in like 48 minutes. It's free. They did it this year. Had a glitch. Did it again. Sold out. So they only do it for 3 days. I'm doing it for a whole month. So from 5:30 to 7, or from 7:30 to 9, or from 9:30 to 11. That's the adults only. You can drive around. in the car, in the van, in whatever vehicle that you book your group with to go look at the Christmas lights in front row.
Ooh,
Yeah.
that's cool.
Yeah, but then you get some hot chocolate, you get some cookies.
Acid.
You know what I'm saying? You want
How, like, how
Yes.
have you
I mean,
not
but that's
heard about
the
this?
930.
Candy cane,
The
candy
930.
cane scented baby oil.
we do like ditties around here, like this. But yeah, so
Freak off.
yeah, so basically you can ride around and look at the Christmas lights and enjoy yourself.
Huh.
Take it for the kids, you know, the adults.
We need to do an adult one.
They do.
All right.
He's so dope.
That's the 9. Okay, so
If I show up, my pupils are like double the size they are now. Don't say anything.
I'm like, listen, you sit your ass in the back and you enjoy yourself for
Oh,
90
I'll be
minutes.
saying stuff.
I don't care what you say.
You guys think the Grinch would like this? That's you.
That was my phone. Oh my
Chris
God.
looked up at me like I had fucking done something on
I
the
was like,
computer.
oh my god! I was like, where am I? No, I was checking out the chat. I don't know if anybody's in there yet. Where's?
But yeah, I mean, so it's a cool thing to do for the kids. It's a cool thing to do for the adults. Like I said, I don't really care about Christmas lights. I didn't even think anything about it. But
That's
apparently,
not
there's
true.
a lot of people do. Like
Yeah,
You told me you love them.
absolutely.
Hell no.
You love them. You love them. They're
Mm-mm.
amazing. It's the
I-
greatest
I
time of the
love-
year.
I love
Everybody should be
Christmas
involved.
lights.
I-
I'm
they-
not a
they
You have to
Christmas
be a
person,
positive
But look,
promotion.
I'm just being honest. Like I didn't think nothing about Christmas lights. That's
That means
why
his
I didn't
eyes are
think
gonna-
about it.
that
Right?
mean-
I didn't think it was that big of a deal. But apparently, people go ape
Oh,
shit
yeah.
over fucking Christmas lights.
Yeah, you can
Absolutely.
telling a little white lie about Christmas lights is all right. You
Watch
know,
this.
Lying about your
Okay.
STDs, not all right.
So the Christmas light flight is such a great thing, and the Christmas light that's fucked up too. The Christmas, I mean, it's like I guess it's a thing, right? So people drive around and look at the lights and
Yeah.
shit like that. It's
In
fucking
Sterling,
cool.
like in
Yeah. It's a
Sterling,
big thing.
Virginia, it was like before it was a thing.
Yeah.
It was a thing because my dad used to take us to this neighborhood where he used to have a barber in, and they had this. I remember this guy had like a silver spoon style train, like that
Yeah.
miniature train, and like you could ride on it. It was fucking wild, man. But like I never got to ride on it because I didn't know the guy. I mean, but obviously had the capability of doing that. Man, it was so awesome, dude. And it was back before like they mass produced the
Oh,
shit.
dude.
You had to actually make it yourself. You know, it was
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
it was.
Absolutely.
We had a
Yeah.
guy in Manassas. I think he worked for the Novak. He was like the president of Novak, and he lived in Sudley. And he had a house, and that motherfucker every year they were like wooden and animated. Like they had Batman that had eyes in it. Like they had like Bart Simpson had a slingshot and it would like pull back and shit.
It's a thing.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a thing.
What's that
It's,
Bull Run?
it plays on nostalgia
Yeah.
too, because like
Bull
I
Run, I was just
remember
saying.
like being a little kid, and we grew up pretty poor. I grew up in the projects in Alexandria, so my dad would like have us go into the car and we go to the rich neighborhoods and see all of the lights. Like, yeah, that's
Whole Kanye.
so it's like a whole like that is a thing.
Right. So, but if you're driving, you have to stop. You know,
Yeah.
sit down, kids, whatever. You know what I'm saying. But if you can just sit in the
Right.
back seat and,
And
have
just
somebody drive and
relax.
relax,
That's perfect.
you know what I'm saying. Maybe have you a hot toddy or two, or a couple glasses of hot cocoa, or whatever it is you want to do.
Hot cocoa.
Hot cocoa.
Some mulled wine.
Some mulled wine. Exactly.
Mm.
So that's where the 9:30, if it's fuck them kids, because sometimes it be fuck them kids. They got the 5:30 slot. They got the 7 o'clock slot. The 9:30 slot. Oh, that's for us
Yes,
at that
that's
time.
perfect.
Right. So if you come in there with your pupils dilated worse than what they are right now, I don't care. Put some sunglasses on. Shit, it's done. Do whatever you want to do for 90 minutes and look at the lights. Thanks, sir. I appreciate that.
Wear those little like those new lights that or the glasses that you can wear to look at the lights, and they have you ever seen those? They sell them.
Oh yeah,
at
where you don't
Lowe's.
have astigmatism
yeah,
anymore.
yeah.
that
Well, I mean,
halo?
you do have
doesn't
astigmatism,
go
but it's got
nowhere.
like little snowflakes or Christmas trees.
Oh
or...
shit! So it's tripping without tripping.
Yeah, basically.
Hmm.
I liked it anyway.
Yeah. Christmas lights. Yeah, we put up Kelly and I usually put up a string. She is way sick, so man, she got mollywopped. She got hit with a like respiratory thing last week, and then today she called me and she never leaves work. And she left to go because she left. That's how I know she was sick, because Kelly's as stubborn as a mule when it comes to that shit.
Like,
She's
I'm fine.
Yeah, it's like and like blood coming out of her eyes. She's like, I can go to work, it's fine. But she tapped out today. So shout out to Kelly, and I hope you feel better if you're listening. But she's
Aw.
not, because she's asleep. But there's witnesses that can say that I said nice things. Yep. So, man, what other good question? So, let's start off being you're from 2 hours north of Houston. Where are you from in Texas then?
I'm from Lufkin, Texas.
Lufkin, Texas. What is Lufkin, Texas known for?
You know Des Bryant, the
Yeah.
football player?
Yeah.
He went to school there.
All right. Cool.
Yeah. Other than that, I don't fucking know.
You got a big family out there?
So I got family everywhere. So I'm a military dude. So like all of my family is either that part of Texas, Dallas, Houston area. But then I got family scattered all over the world. But you know, my family is most of the people that I've met in the last 20, 22 years. You know what I'm saying? Like I still got my family and everything, but you know, my family is my, you know what I'm saying, the people that I've known. You know what I'm saying? 20 years is a long time to be in the Marine Corps. That's a long fucking time.
Yeah, you were in for 20 years?
20 years and 4 days.
Oh, you counted up 4 days.
Okay, so look. Okay, so why I got a time to tell about this right quick. You ever seen the movie Mr. 3000 with Bernie Mac?
Yeah.
Okay, so for anybody that has never seen this movie, right? So Bernie Mac's a baseball player. He hits 3,000 hits, right? And he's like, fuck this shit, I'm retiring. I'm done. But then a couple years later, they realized that he only got 2,996 hits. So now he needs 4 more hits. So he got his old ass got to come out of retirement. Anyway, it's a great movie. So basically that goes to say, because if you don't do your 20 years exactly, you don't get your retirement benefits. You don't get your pension. You don't get any of that.
Oh,
so
fuck.
if you did 19 years and 7 days and whatever, you don't get nothing. So Mr. 3000, make sure you get them 20 years and 4 days. Watch the movie. It's a great movie. Shout out to Bernie Mac. Rest in peace. But like, yeah, it's a good movie.
That is great, man.
It's a good movie.
I'm so glad that we got to talk about an obscure Bernie Mac movie. I'm so tickled about this.
But no, when you don't get to your 20 years, then you don't get your full retirement. So that's why when I say the 4 days.
So what were the extra 4 days?
It's basically because you get out at a certain day, but then you only can retire on the 1st of some month. So January, February. Yeah, so that's where it was. The 28th I got out, and the 1st is my retirement date.
Oh, dude.
So it's best to enlist like on the 30th or 31st of a month is what you're saying?
Yeah, probably.
You enlist on like the 7th, you were fucked.
Well, I mean, depends if you play right. Like I said, you get them the extra days off to where it's like, shit, I ain't staying in all these days till the very end. No, fuck that. I'm on terminal. I'm out.
So how many like days do you get off? What because I guess 20 years you're not doing like it's a different job after like 10 or 15 years.
Yeah. So to answer your question, how many days do you get off? Right. So everybody earns 2.5 days of leave. Leave is vacation time, right? So 2.5 times 12 is what? 30. So you get 30 days of leave, paid vacation time that you can take at whatever point throughout that year that you want, or you can cumulatively roll over 75. I think it is now. It used to be 60, but I think it's 75. So, if you want to take a week off here, take a week off here. If you've got enough days built up, you can take 2 weeks off. But if you're getting ready to exit the military, either through retirement, discharge, or whatever the case may be, and you want to take terminal leave, basically you get out on this day is your end of active service, your EAS, or your retirement date, whatever, right? But you've got 20 days of leave. So you're out on this day, but your actual end of service is on this day. But in them days,
have fun.
Bye. Right. Go see you later. Whatever you want to do.
What'd you do?
Me? I was out here. Yeah. I was out here. Getting denied for jobs.
Well,
and then starting a business.
Well, I know that, but I mean, what would you do when you were in the Marines? What were your
my jobs? Yeah, your jobs. Oh, like okay, so we're talking about MOSs, military occupational specialty. Okay, so I had 3 MOSs. I was 3051, which is back then it was a warehouseman, kind of like working in Amazon, take the fucking shit, put in like whatever, right? Warehouseman. And then I was at 3043, which is supply warehouse, supply admin, so the administrative side of supply. So instead of when all the parts come in, you got to pick them up and put them in the right places and whatever, right? I'm the one that's ordering the parts and making sure all the parts got there, right? So, all right. So then my third MOS was an 8411, which is a recruiter.
Okay.
And I was a recruiter twice. And I was a recruiting command as a 3043 later and earlier in my career doing supply work, right? But still at the recruiting command. So all together time recruiting command, like 10 years. Damn. Yeah. Either recruiter, staff non-commissioned officer in charge, what do you call that? Supply. Yeah. A lot of different shit. Who talking?
I hear talking.
It wasn't me.
I think it's actually outside.
Yeah.
They're wilding out there.
These
lot of different
pick
jobs.
up some crazy shit, dude. Sometimes I hear like things whispering, like, is that a ghost?
Yeah, sometimes if you have your phone too close, it'll pick up. And like on a guitar, sometimes you'll pick up radio signals. So sometimes I'll be here playing my guitar, and all of a sudden I'll hear like, yeah,
really?
Yeah,
That's fucking spooky as hell.
Got ad libs in here.
Yeah, the shittier guitar, like the Squire, like it's not potted correctly, so it'll like just be like we used to sit at band practice with my old band, and we would sit around and be like, "It did it again," and you would pick up like I think it was like 88.5. It would pick up like fucking NPR and shit.
That's crazy. Did you ever pick up like weird Soviet shit?
No, I wish that would have been way more awesome. I'd have been like, "Yo, press record now." Could be secret commands.
Hey, let me ask y'all just a random question. If you could play any instrument that's just basic, what would it be?
The accordion.
So I'm gonna tell you right now, mine's gonna be like the little mini harp.
Oh, yeah.
Just because it's portable and
The
shit.
lute.
I was gonna say the harp because I've like, yeah, it seems interesting.
Like who has harp lessons around?
Nobody.
No,
Nobody.
I think
Nobody.
there's a guy there is. No, there's
Really?
a guy that does
For
it.
real?
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
like-
used to play at all the restaurants around here. Man, if anybody remembers his name or anybody's listening who knows what I'm talking about, this guy plays the harp at like the Mexican restaurants on like Friday nights and shit.
So get a harp instead of catamount. You know what? Not even a harp. Let's get a violinist.
There's some harp
Even-
players.
I
It's
play
some
violin.
it's some badass violinists out there
are,
too.
Yeah,
Like that's
Fiddle-
a
fiddle-
whole
We've had a fiddle.
vibe
We've
right
had a
there.
fiddle player in there.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
talking about it's a whole different kind of vibe.
It's a
You know what
fiddle
I'm
in the Shenandoah Valley.
Yeah.
sir.
Yeah, but
Fuck
what? Like
yeah.
it depends.
Watch it though.
Like
Watch it work.
you can either play like the weird, like the country type stuff, or like the classical. I play
or the
classical.
hip hop, or you're bringing.
Is there hip hop?
Yeah.
Like violin and hip hop?
Dude,
What?
Yes.
you know what I would do?
What? What's that?
Boof
A
it.
bassoon.
A
A
bassoon.
bassoon, yeah. Bassoon's an
It's just
interesting-
one of the few instruments I've never played. It's a double reeded instrument.
Yeah, it looks like a fucking didgeridoo with a
Look
dick.
like it looked like a baby duck that you gotta be like.
See, I'm not musically inclined at all. Like I've never played the instrument. You asked me to play this guitar? Nope. I just
I can
bring
play the
somebody in.
piano and I can play the violin. I played first chair in high school, and violin or the piano I can play by ear. I can
Somebody got AIDS out there.
Damn.
like coughing.
Yeah, all right, we just all. I like how we
We're
all
all
stopped
like,
to listen. Like,
I mean,
what did
what's
they
going on
say?
with
Y'all do this all the time. This is my first time here. I'm
Like,
like, what
yeah.
the fuck is happening around here?
Sort
Oh,
of like-
man.
Now, sometimes when
nosy
you hear a
right
knock,
now.
it's just Chris
Yeah,
ordering food.
yeah. Oh man, not tonight though. I didn't do it tonight. Man, I was slacking today. Dude, get on it. Yeah, so you did all that. You did that. So that was like, is that sort of like not Monday to Friday, 9 to 5 type thing, or did you have like interesting hours? Like, did you ever have to like do? You know-
Just depend on the different phases and aspects of timing that you're asking me about, right? So sometimes it was Monday through Friday, but pretty much if you're asking specifically about recruiting's not a Monday through Friday 9 to 5. Hell no, that's a 24-hour thing right there.
No shit.
Hell yeah. Because I mean, let's think about it right now. It's whatever time it is right now, 9:30, 8:30.
Mhm.
If a kid call you right now, kid, I say 17 to 29-year-old, right, that you had met at the school or you met here or whatever, you call them on the phone and you're in your office and you're like, fuck, I'm going home. And then you miss that phone call, shit, you might have missed that contract.
Mm-hmm.
First to contract. If it's 9 o'clock at night or 9 o'clock in the morning and you're in the office doing your admin work or you're planning your day out to go somewhere else and you miss that phone call, you could miss that contract. So it's all day. All
So
day.
do you guys just like wait for the phone calls, or do you actively
Nah,
like?
nah.
Because like I have like a little story. So my kids, like my son wants to join the Air Force or the Navy, and he kind of like put out his feelers for everything. He went through all the like things. We went to the Army like station when they had that like open house, and my daughter did too. And I got like a weird like text message like maybe a couple of weeks later, and I didn't know, like I knew that they did this, but I had no idea. And this like person was like, "Hi Ava, how are you doing?" And I'm like, "This is Ava's mom. Who is this?" And she's like, "Oh." And then she gave me her whole spiel. She was an Army recruiter, and I was like, I don't have time for this. Like, I had told Ava, "Are you serious or you're not?" And she's like, "No, I'm not. I just put my name down because I just wanted information." I'm like,
All right, so y'all want to hear this one right quick?
Yeah.
Scenario. Okay. So if I said, "Hey, I'm gonna give you $1 million right now to go jump out of this airplane," would you do it?
Do I have a parachute?
No.
No.
Nah.
No. No. Hell no.
No.
Shit no, man.
No. Shit. No. Hell no.
Did you do it?
Well, it's not about me. I'm asking you the question.
Yeah.
Oh,
well,
I'm
no,
not.
absolutely not.
So
Without
everybody's
some sort of
agreeing,
safety.
no, you won't do it, right? Okay. So I'm not even going to ask you the reasons why, but you all say no, right?
I mean,
So-
how high are we? I mean, we were like,
you've already said no. So now I'm taking this briefcase full of $1 million clean money,
damn.
close it up, and I done walked over and I done talked to somebody else. And I asked them the same question.
every time.
Then I come back and I say, hey, listen, for that $1 million, you say you wouldn't jump out of the airplane, right? Hell no. I didn't even ask you the reasons why. You just told me no off the back. Bye. But you didn't ask how high it was until way after. I already walked away. So my point is if you don't have all the facts and information, how can you make a good decision about your life? So does it hurt you to ask a little bit more questions to get a little bit more information? Absolutely not. And at the end of the day, you can make your decision. Because if you don't ask all the right questions, you don't get the right answers. You don't know if that decision that you made to say, yes, I will do this. Yes, I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic. You will raise your right hand and take that oath. You will step on those yellow footprints. When you say you make that commitment to do that, it may be the best decision you ever made.
Selling it.
It might
Yeah.
not.
Yeah,
But
damn.
look,
So, yeah.
that's what a recruiter has to do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's you. Listen, when you
I probably
when
had
you-
the worst recruiter ever for the Navy. I was like, nah, I don't think I'm gonna do this, and he
But
was
look,
like, oh, okay.
When you, but see, that's just the part of getting them to say yes.
Yeah.
Well, that's
That
the
they
difference
would
between the
want to get
Marines and the
understanding.
Navy.
Right. So recruiting is a heartfelt thing sometimes. It's sometimes a thing to where, yeah, it is about just whatever. But
So-
there's ways
JK.
to get
Yeah.
people to do it, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know
It
it-
was Army that like was hitting Ava up, but Matthew, like, he keeps flip flopping. He's like, "Oh, I wanna join the Air Force."
How old is Ava and how old is Matthew? I'm sorry.
They just turned 18
Okay,
a few
they're
days
18.
ago.
Okay, all right,
So this
all
is
right.
like,
He's
they're,
like,
they're about to graduate.
Boy.
Well,
Ava
freshman.
is like she wanted to do forensics, so she's like, there's nothing in any sort of military that would help me fulfill that.
so
Now
okay,
Matthew, on
so-
the other hand, he wants
they
to
twins?
fly planes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, all right. So I'm a twin. Okay, let's wrap right here. Okay, so now I'm sorry. Continue. I just wanted to paint
No.
a picture of what I'm thinking about and how. Do you want them to do it, or do they want to do it? Yes or no?
I honestly
Like,
my
bottom
my
line.
dad was in the military, my mom was in everybody, like, I'm the first generation from my family that just stopped that, and so like it would give me pride if one of my children did join the military, because like we were always a military family for so long,
Okay.
and I just decided not to,
Okay.
you know.
All right.
So
So again, painting pictures because Matthew and what?
Ava,
Okay, so Matthew and Ava, they're twins. They're fraternal twins. I'm assuming, right? Are they, big, small kids? Are they fat?
Ava
Are they
is-
athletic? I mean, do
Ava
they play
is
an instrument? Like what? Like,
tiny,
talk to
tiny.
me.
Ava's tiny and super tall. She's model tall.
Is
Like
she athletic?
she's like
Does she work
no,
out?
she's just
Just
no. But my
tall,
son,
lanky,
he's super tall, and he's like, he's got those
Yeah.
Popeye arms. He
Okay.
works out. He's
So,
fit.
so he fit.
Yeah.
Okay. So Ava and Matthew, if either one of them said, you know what, yeah, I actually do want to carry this on, you ain't gonna be like,
No,
because right. Think about this for a second.
That's more pride
They
thing.
just turned 18, so they can do whatever the fuck they want to do right now.
Yeah,
All right. But again, they have mama's consent on board because a lot of these kids, and when I say kids, these young adults, even though they're able and legal to do things, they still need that approval
yeah,
from the people that matter to them the most. This generation, they need it,
yeah.
which is still respectful at the bottom line. So, are they fresh meat? Yeah, somebody gonna get them. Somebody gonna get one of them. Somebody gonna get one of them. Right? They might get both of them. They might hit the nerve with fucking forensics and be like, yeah, you can do this right here. They may sell her on that. And it may actually be something she can actually do. Or they may get your son on just being like, hey, you want to keep working out? You wanna keep, right? Or it could be, like whatever the fuck he want to do.
Yeah. He wants to fly.
Are they
planes.
smart?
Absolutely.
See? ASVAB.
So yep.
ASVAB.
So
What he scored on the AS? Did they take it?
pretty high.
Okay,
Like
all
I
right,
actually
all right,
I kept getting phone calls, and I'm like,
Listen,
"What
yeah.
is going on?" And he's like, "Oh, I took this test, Mom, and it's
Mhm.
like they said I did a really
So
good job."
what was his score?
I
And I'm
don't-
gonna break that down.
I don't know what the score was. I just know that like I was getting calls, and he did very well. He wants to actually do it again. I don't know. He's flip flopping back and forth. He's like, maybe I
Did
should
Ava
go to
take it too?
college first and get the education so
that
I
sound
can
like
get in
reservist to me.
higher. Like he wants to like
Yeah, that sounds
get
like
in there
that
higher.
sounds
and
like
I'm
building
like,
a resume. That's called being a reservist. That's stay at home. That's a weekend warrior.
Yeah.
Ain't nothing wrong with the WWE either. You know what I'm saying? Because gotta hit them numbers as well. That's recruiting, right?
Mhm.
So when you talk about how somebody could get your son or your daughter to join the military right now at this day and age, and the way things are going with all the stuff, he's smart. He's athletic. Missed a generation gap year between that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And if you hit him with the fact of he can stay here locally and still build that resume and still be, yeah, it's easy. It's a done deal.
Yeah.
Or if he's like, I want to, that's active and reserve. There's a big difference with that. Like, but see, recruiting, you have to hit those numbers as well. You have to hit those active duty components and those reserve components. So if I'm a recruiter and I'm on, a Marine Corps recruiter, and I'm on for 2 bodies a month, right? 2 brand new recruits, active duty, male, female, these are different components and categories. So your son, right, and your daughter, both being 18 years old, that could probably still do very well in the military and go in as a group and can still only be here 1 week in a month, 2 weeks in a year, or if they decide they want to do it for a full-time 4-year career,
Yeah.
we shooting both of them. Yeah, package deal.
Yeah, I'm
Send them both to
trying. I'm
boot
trying
camp.
to
Let's
like
go.
let them weigh their options. I also want I don't want to.
You don't want them to talk to me. You
I-
don't want them.
I
Yeah,
don't-
you already fucking. There's somebody on the other side of this camera fucking being like, "I'm ready, Dedrick. Sign me
I
out.
promise you. I promise you.
I'm smart and athletic
That
too."
was good.
Ah!
Hey,
Yeah.
listen, it's better than this economy where you at least got a paycheck once a month. You know, once 2 times a month. I mean, you can hit people with so much different stuff to get them to join the military. Think about it. The age of 18, we're talking about legal age, right? But 17 is the age that they can actually join the Marine Corps with parental consent. Mom and dad, biological mom and dad signed parental consent, right? To the age of 29. Anybody in that age group can get it. You know what I'm saying?
Didn't they
Like, I'm
expand?
telling you.
Didn't they expand the age range to like 42 for something?
Maybe in some other branch, but the Marine
Yeah.
Corps has always been like 17 and 29, right?
Yeah.
And if you even get somebody that's like 30, but like that motherfucker in shape, smart, you know what I'm saying, got some college behind, you know what I mean? Like got some credentials, got some green weights is what we call it. Yeah, you can get him in there too. You know what I'm saying? It's all listen, it's a game. It's a game, right? And I ain't even saying like a bad thing, but it's fun.
I know we
Like,
had
that shit was fun.
we got into a wing when I worked at Andrews Air Force Base. I was doing like just network stuff, and I got into like the certain set of offices, and I realized it was the recruiter's office because it was like a bunch of dudes, and every time I went in to change a computer and plug in a bunch of stuff, he was like, "Hey, before we get done on this computer, you should watch that video." Like it'd be like a recruiting video. I was like, "Damn, you guys,
Listen,
do what you can."
You know the little newspaper machines?
Yeah.
Back in the day, you put the quarter in there, pull it down, grab your stack of newspaper or a newspaper, whatever. You know what I used to do? I used to take my business cards. I had one right outside my office when I was in Texas. Slow one. Staple. There's a business card on every single newspaper.
They're like, wow.
I had a little newspaper. And I went right there and go, "Hey, breakfast."
And for you kids that don't know what a
Yeah,
newspaper is, a
Yeah.
newspaper was a tangible form of
It's a leaf.
literature that gave you the current events and up-to-the-date news. Came in a folded paper, you know.
Yeah, every city had 2 or 3.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They used to have credibility.
Not anymore.
No. They
They-
lost
Now
They
we get our
probably do
news from
somewhere.
social media, and
No,
we're
I
so
mean,
informed.
dude, when we get our news straight up from memes, people like have based their entire focus in the world on memes. It's crazy. I mean, I think memes are hilarious. And I like
You know what it is? You know how like there's all these like not conspiracy theories, but just theories on like ancient Egypt and like different things that happened to make the pyramids and like what technology they had that they lost. And it's sort of like we're moving towards hieroglyphs, so maybe there's some credence to that because like slowly.
Emojis will take over.
Yeah, we like dun, dun, dun.
Eggplant squirt.
Yeah, when you
Blow
start
wind.
when full sentences of emoji start to be like a common thing, like that's when we know we hit the point where we're like, yep.
You know where we are as a society is that there is currently a dude out there named Amigo Chino. Have we talked about him before?
No, I have no clue who Amigo Chino.
Google Amigo Chino real quick, and his story is fantastic. He's this kid from like California. Something happened. He got disgruntled with McDonald's. I don't know the exact story behind that. Ran his car into the McDonald's. He's like, "Oh, my mom, I'm gonna run my car into McDonald's," and he does. Ends up going to the hospital. Excuse me.
Amigo what?
Chino.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Oh, dude. He ran his car into a McDonald's, got arrested, went to the hospital, and he's TikToking this whole thing. He gets put on house arrest with an ankle bracelet. And he's like, "Yeah, on my mama, if I get like 1,000 likes, I'll cut this shit off and I'll go on the run." And so he gets like 100,000 likes or whatever, cuts the fucking thing and live streams he's been law, and he's got like this huge network of people that are giving him money and rides and shit like that. Like he's going everywhere, man. But the thing is, it's kind of inspirational, right? It sounds like very like, outlandish stuff. But his whole thing is like, he was just super depressed kid, and he just like fucking was like, he's like super depressed and like wasn't doing shit in his life, and he wanted to do all the stuff. So now he's like, he has a video.
They hit him with a DeVry commercial. That's what it's called.
Dude, he does, man.
You don't even sit on the couch. You ain't doing nothing.
Dude, he's been partying with rappers in Vegas. He's skydiving. Yeah, here it is. This is the dude, and he rolls around in a poo shiesty. Yeah, hold on, man. It gets wild if you go down this rabbit hole. They're watching the video right now, and but basically he's like kind of what he's exemplifying. Oh, watch this. This is where it gets wild, dude. He's pretty much exemplifying like, you only live once type thing, and he's not trying to hurt nobody. He's just trying to like, paint a very vivid,
and then he's
portrait
like,
of himself. Yeah,
just cut it off.
Well, now he goes on the run. There's one video he had that came out around Thanksgiving, and he was like surrounded by police, and they sent another guy out that looked like him in a poo shiesty, and he like jetted out the back or whatever. But there's also part of me that thinks this maybe it might be fake. I don't know, man. It's pretty wild.
It could, like, I've never seen or worn.
I'm gonna deep dive on it tonight, man. But I think that's a sign of the time. If you think about it, let's say he makes a couple $1 million out of this, right? He does get caught. He has to do 5 years in prison. Right? Yeah, but guess what? Break down $2 million by 5 years. You made $400,000 a year as a job going to prison at that point in time. And that speaks volumes about where we are as an economy. Because like back in the early 2000s, you just had to be like a chick with a sex tape with a dude who looks like Dedrick in it in order to become a millionaire. But now you have to go on the run from the law. That's a joke I'm working on, guys. I'm just workshopping with you guys here.
I mean, you could also talk about spitting on
dicks, dude. You see, didn't she recently?
Yeah, she about to go.
Wait, so what? Does anybody know anything about that?
I laugh at that though.
Did she really start her own cryptocurrency? George, you seem like you would know the ins on this, dude.
Yes, please, because I know you.
Do you know anything about the Hawktua girl, aka Haley Welch?
Yeah. Talking about Hawktua money.
Yeah.
Yeah, spit on that dick money. However, I will say
I don't know what her currency was called, but I definitely heard that a lot of people lost money.
Does anybody watching? Does anybody have the actual facts on that, or is there any way we can fact check the Hawktua?
Anybody
girls?
that's in the chat, just Google it for us real quick because we don't have the time.
Yeah,
we
need an intern.
Yeah, we do. We absolutely do.
What are your kids doing?
So like my daughter, like, because she wanted to do it for Fridays, Jordan, but then like we switched, and she's like, "Yeah, Mom, I'll work during the week."
dude, when she announced that she was going to make the currency, she said, "quote I used to think it was a scam."
And then I made it a scam, bitch. Hawktua on your penis.
Well,
spitting on penises. That's amazing that her climb to like this.
Her meme coin
it was like
called
a year.
Hawk.
That's all it was. Like it was a whole year, and then.
Well, I don't know, man. She seems to be pretty relevant. I mean, like,
yeah, I mean, she's in the news.
Could you imagine, like, you were just walking down the street,
scamming people?
You're just walking down. I want to know if she really is, though, or if this is like one of those things where.
So you want to know how much, how bad, and how. All right, so it's called Hawk. That's the name of her currency.
Yes, dude, tell me more.
And within 20 minutes of its issuance, its stock price had plunged over $440 million.
Holy fuck.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, she I bet you she sold high. So basically, she probably had a bunch of the currency, and then sold it all as soon as they got it. So everybody else's money was worth less.
Oh my god.
So it's total scam.
Oh.
Woof.
Yeah.
Man, and she was trying to help the dogs. Maybe as long as she's giving, you know what though? Here's
What dog, though?
Well, no. If she's giving money,
A
to
really
the dogs,
poor dog.
If she's giving money to the dogs, like she says, she is the beautiful dogs. If she's giving the money to the dogs, it'll be all right. But she could do the. She should, I don't know, man. Haley Welch, if you're watching, please let us know what is really going on.
Her manager described her new venture as Hawkonomics.
Yeah, dude. I mean,
This is what
That's where
feel
we are.
like we are literally living in idiocracy right now. Like this is
ow, my balls.
The coin initially was issued with over $500 million valuation before plummeting to under $60 million. So basically, a bunch of people bought it, and they just slowly saw it being like.
I'm gonna wait till it gets down to like $1, and I'm gonna buy all of it, and then it's gonna become $1 million. Then I'm just gonna let it appreciate. I'm gonna make my billions with Hawk Tua money.
Even worse, it's obvious that 10 people took a bunch of this because 96% of the token supply was controlled by just 2 addresses. So the rest of it that's how they scam the rest of the people. Yep, 10 people were like, "Yeah, we got this plan. We're gonna take a bunch of money."
Man, Hawk Tua, man, she came out spitting on dicks. She ended
probably
up starting
was like,
spitting on people's
what's
butts.
the worst can happen? I could be in jail for like 5 years.
Again,
It's fine.
yeah, exactly.
It's fine. I can do 5 years.
Exactly, and that's where we are economically. That's our jobs now. It's like, what kind of crime can I get away with that will be profitable versus how much time I would get for doing that crime. And then you break it down to like, so I go to jail for $500,000 a year or whatever it is, like $5 million a year. Fuck it, man. I'd go to jail. You know what? To be real, if you were to pay me $500,000 a year to go to jail, I would go to jail for $500,000 a year. That's my going.
Really?
Yeah, jail's not bad. Jail's not that bad. You ever been to jail?
It's not that
Like,
bad.
no, jail's not that bad, dude. It's just
I
like,
am not going to jail.
jail is not that bad. If you go to jail, it's not that bad. All right, it's
I
not
mean,
Yeah,
I
it'd be
guess
bad
it's
for
like-
me because they wouldn't know what I am, and then they try to make me
He's
join.
like, nah,
they made me join the Peckerwoods.
Not worth it.
man. I don't
Maybe
know.
I like
a
my
million.
freedom too much. That's why.
Yeah, so like, I
the
like-
price got to be real steep.
Yeah.
Like
I like to be able to
$500,000 for a
listen to
long
whatever
time,
music I want, watch whatever I want on TV, like
Yeah.
eat whatever. I don't want.
Your
It's like
Sally's
going-
like,
it's like
I'm
going
tired
to-
of you watching The Shining while you're going to sleep. Cut it off, bitch.
It's like going to church camp, except for church is like Jerry Springer. Like seriously, when you go like at RSW, the only time that fucking unit that I was in was quiet was when it was Jerry Springer hour on. Everybody be like, "Shut up, Reverend Springer's on the goddamn television, and he's got some hot sluts on there." All right, and then every time they bring out a girl, these girls would be a busted 4, and they'd be like, "Oh God, man!" They'd be like, "Yo, I would tear that up."
I would clap them
Oh
cheeks.
man, dude, oh man, boy. They tell me, and I'd be like, "Geez," I was like, even on the streets, are you guys talking like are we talking like jail talk? Or are we talking street talk? And they're like street talk. I'm like, damn, yo. I was like, y'all are fucked up, man. I was like, no wonder you like jail. No, but jail actually, there's people that go to jail with regularity because it's so easy. Like you go, you're fucking all of your stuff is laid out for you. You got
It's
clothing.
like free meal and free
Yeah,
home.
yeah. Well,
3
no,
hots
you
in a
pay
cot.
for it. You
Yeah.
pay for
Shit,
it.
then you might as well just join the fucking military. Shit, that's better than jail. Like, goddamn. At least you
At
can
least
say
you're
I'm
traveling
I'm
the world.
I'm doing this for freedoms.
Well, I can
But
tell
I'm
you,
in a jail.
there are different tiers of jail. So this is some real shit. Like
Makes
the
it
Arlington
better.
County Detention Facility, 4-star Yelp review for me. Whereas RSW gets a 2.5. No, the RSW gets like 2.75. I would give it, but yeah, a 4 to Arlington. Actually, a 4.5 to Arlington County. They had carpets in there. You had cable. It was fucking
The bar is so low, though.
the food is from Aramark. Yeah, but you know what? It's so Arlington County.
Oh, they got the good chicken tenders.
Arlington County is such a good place to go to jail that there are homeless people that will go and commit shoplifting crimes in October, and they're blatant about it, and they're flagrant, and they go in there and they do it on purpose, and they catch a shoplifting charge. They don't bond out. They go through the system, and by the time they get to their sentencing, they've served the time, and it's usually in spring. So they go in for winter. They get like dental, medical, three
That's
hots in a
smart.
cot. But in Arlington County, you have cable TV, carpets. They got fucking couches and shit. It's like, look, They have pickleball, all right? They have pickleball in Arlington County. That's real.
Sold.
Here's the funny thing. They have pickleball as an advertised amenity at my parents' luxury gated community in Boca Raton, Florida. They also have pickleball at Arlington County Detention Facility. That tells you how affluent Arlington County is, number one, and white. However, with that being said,
I don't even know what pickleball is.
it's like a cross between ping pong and tennis. It's like lifestyle.
It's like the new shuffleboard for white people.
Yeah, well, it's hey man, there's a lot. Everybody's doing.
I saw young
Jeezy play pickleball.
I ain't never played before, but I've been saying it.
My mom loves it,
but it's a lot of people play pickleball.
I didn't
it's crazy.
What is pickleball?
Yeah.
So they have that. So so this is how I found out about that. I was scrolling one day on my like news feed from like my like the news, not the Facebook news, and I see a picture of my old neighbor that lived above Kelly and I in Reston. And we had a bunch of mutual friends, and he had his family's from Arlington, but he also spent a lot of time in and out of the 4-star rated Arlington County Detention Facility. And so then they're like, it was like the local Fox 5 News was like Fox 5 News reports pickleball now at Arlington County Detention Facility, and then it showed my homie and his homie are they're crossing pickleball paddles. And I'm like, Jermaine. And I'm like, Jermaine, holy shit. Yeah, dude. It is
even better.
That's an article we could probably pull up the picture on. But like,
oh my God.
Arlington County Detention Facility gets pickleball. And like, yeah, my homie Jermaine, who lived above Kelly and I, who we had like tons of mutual friends. And Jermaine was the nicest, awesome dude. He just,
I don't know. Like, still, like, regardless of how swank they are, I prefer.
They're not swank. Swank
like,
is.
I like being able to go outside when I want, even though I don't like. The funny thing is, I barely go outside right now because I'm always working. But I want to be able to be like, you know what? I'm gonna fucking go outside.
That's why I'm like, instead of going to jail,
there he is, my man
just
Jermaine.
Go to the fucking military. I'm telling you,
there it is.
Bad. Going in the winter, come out in the spring.
Jermaine,
same thing.
Jermaine on the left there.
3 months boot camp.
That's awesome.
Yeah, dude, it's fucking fantastic.
And they're holding the paddles. Like,
oh yeah, man. Arlington County, they got a full gym outside for you. They got they have bicycles. They have a basketball court.
I feel like you're selling this. Like, hey, you guys want to?
I'm just having a romantic flashback.
You want to go to jail, guys?
Some of
the crimes in Arlington.
Well, yeah, Arlington. I mean, I've been. Unfortunately, I've seen a few of the county hotels, if you will, and I have a rating system on it. But that's for I'll shorten this chat. But basically, Arlington was I learned some stuff in there, man. Number one, I learned how to do this thing called a swole. Now, if you don't know what a swole is, essentially it's a commissary casserole, and basically you take ramen noodles. Those are usually the base. You crush them up. Then you chop up pickles and the Slim Jims, and you crush up Cheetos. And if you have chili, you put chili in. Oh, it sounds. You say you. I will make one for the next show for our year.
for the Christmas special. You're gonna make a swole.
Do you like
a Christmas swole?
Do you like ramen?
That sounds terrible.
I love ramen, but when you say pickles and shit, like I'm not.
I think we should let him make it just to eat it. We got to try it.
It complements it.
You'll have to omit the pickles.
We never eat the beaver meat. We got to eat the swole though.
I will make it. I will make the swole, dude. I mean, so you kind of make like a casserole, but there's all sorts of shit we learned how to, like, food wise. We'd make we could make pizzas. You'd crush up the ramen noodle noodles until they got powder like. You added water, and then you roll them between two chip bags that you had kind of disassembled. Yo, man, innovation. Look,
like what?
When I tell you something, you
Clearly
want you guys.
I'll
tell you something. Like, I'll tell you a couple things that I learned there. These are amazing points of ingenuity.
Tracy Morgan.
And so you get so you go, so you make swoles. You learn how to make like pizza out of you bring it up. I mean, I have a funny pizza story. Was I worked down in the kitchen, and because my resume was good for the Aramark, you upload your resume when you get to Arlington County. This is also how awesome the jail is.
He was white and low level, like he had some skills.
Well, my resume was better than the people running the kitchen there, right? So Aramark was like, all right, yeah, bring him in immediately. They bumped me to the front of the list. Like, I got to go down.
Got a 3-star chef right now.
Yep.
Listen, get your ass to there and fucking cook. And make it good.
Well, no, they just wanted me to go I did all their paperwork for them, so they would just so they could just sit around and bullshit and talk on their phones, and that's all they did. And they were just like, yeah, you just do whatever. And I'm like, all right, cool. So it was Super Bowl Sunday was coming, and like the big thing was, since we were the work unit that took care of the.
They probably had the whole spread.
Oh, we did. I'm gonna tell you.
I mean, the way that you picture Arlington fucking this shit is like magnificent. Like, oh my God, we about to sit here and watch Super Bowl on fucking luxury couches and shit. Like,
it was
like with a whole gourmet chips and dip with fucking brie. We got fucking brie cheese in this.
We didn't get brie in
That's
there.
what I'm thinking, right? Like, it's wild. It's crazy. Like, I'm staying tuned for the story.
No, we didn't get brie in both. This is how we made the pizza. Let me tell you. So this was like the Ocean's 11 of my life. All right. So I'm working there. It's my second week in the kitchen, and so my cellmate comes up to me. He's like, "Hey man, so a few of us are trying to make pizza, and like, but we don't want to make that bullshit ketchup sauce that we got to make upstairs with our commissary stuff. Do you know how to make? You're a chef. You know how to make pizza sauce, right?" And I was like, "I know, like banging pizza sauce." He's like, "All right." So we had 3 different tiers of cooking we had to do while you're in Arlington. You have the officers club, you have the regular cadets or whatever, the sheriffs, and then you had the inmates food. So we had to make 3 different levels of food. So the officers club is obviously the higher tier stuff. So you would get actual real food ingredients as opposed to like the plastic pellets we were eating as the fucking like it was. You remember that play food that you used to get as kids that was like plastic? That's what we give inmates, and that's the high end shit, by the way. But anyway, so I was taking I had access to real ingredients, so I could make real pizza sauce. Now you're gonna ask, how do we get pizza from the kitchen to our work unit? And this is the most wild, and this is how inmates are smart as fuck, dude. So I made the sauce, and what we did was we took 2 trash bags, and these are like the really thick, like 3 millimeter thick contractor bags. We took 2 of them, and we cut the corners off both sides, and we made and we double stuffed them. We poured the sauce into it, we tied it off, and then we had twist ties that we got to make it airtight, right?
Made piping bags.
Yeah. Well, yeah, there was a pipe. Yeah, it was like a piping bag. No, they were called floaters, right? So then what we would do is, because we were the ones that were producing the food for the jail. We had the porters that were taking they took the food from us. Like, we delivered them the food, and then they'd bring it into the porters bring it in and distribute it within the unit. And part of the food stuff that we'd bring in there was an urn of or a cooler full of coffee, right? So what I did was we weighted down these bags. We put something, I forget what we weighted it with. It was like a can of something in it, and we put in the sauce in this quarter bag thing that we tied off. We put the coffee in it, and then we floated it in the coffee, but it sank down to the bottom of the coffee. And then the porter that was received, he was in on it too. He took it out, and he would take it and he would put it into a trash can that was designated not to have any trash in it by the other porter on the inside. Then he would take that and he would get it, and then he would transport
y'all motherfuckers Ocean 11 fucking pizza sauce.
Yeah, well, I got pepper, so I got real sausage, I got real peppers, I got real olives, I got real cheese, right? And so
you was really Robin Hood.
Oh man,
you was robbing from the fucking top tier, bringing it down to the bottom of the peasants to eat the gourmet and really not so good but good shit. Well, yeah, you.
I did.
The way I'm picturing this is you took really nice fucking ingredients from the O Club, like real shit and shit that you can make, and engineered a way to get all that shit down past the medium class. Like, hey, here you go, officers, sheriffs, constables, whoever the fuck you are, law enforcement, that did some stupid shit. Now you got to be in this place, but we still got to provide for you any fucking way. But this, down to the people down here that have committed crimes that are not bad, but not really that bad, but like, it's a really nice area that's really rich and it's got like nice facilities. Yeah. So you in there, but you all right.
I did. You know,
Robin Hood.
I did well because I came in and everybody looked at me and they're like, "What the fuck is this?" And I was like, I didn't have as many tattoos at the time, so they, I walked in, they were like, "Oh, little fucking white boy and shit." But by the end of the whole thing, I made my way through. But this is the best part. So we're cooking. We get the pizza together and we have all like the gourmet toppings and stuff, and we made the dough like really nicely and like, so we get the pizza out and we're cutting it up, and the sheriff comes over. He's like, or the deputy, he's like, "Hey, I know for goddamn certain there ain't no fucking peppers and sausages and olives on commissary." And I was like, "You're correct, sir. You are correct." I was like, however, I was like, "Are you enjoying the Super Bowl?" He's like, "Yeah." I was like, "You know what would make the Super Bowl even better?" He's like, "What?" I was like, really, "A slice of this pizza." Yep.
Eat this fucking pizza. Sit your ass the fuck down.
So, like, how'd you do, obviously you get flour, right? You made the dough yourself.
You make the dough out of, we made the dough out of ramen noodles.
All right, so tell me how you do that, because I gotta know now.
Okay, so you take the noodles and you crush them until you get them very fine and powdery, and then you just add water. And that's it. And you knead it like dough, and then you roll it out in between. We take chip bags were a very hot commodity there because you could cut them out, and they're essentially like parchment paper.
I heard him say that earlier too.
Yeah,
you roll them
you roll them. Yeah, you roll them between the chip bags.
That's crazy.
They're like silicone,
and then you cook it in the microwave.
And it tastes like
pizza.
dough.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't like it was. I would say it was more like a CC's pizza than it was like
still
like
pizza's pizza.
Yeah, well, that was
when you're in the jail.
CC's pizza ain't that bad though.
Like you could choose between plastic pellets or pizza.
So the deputy was like, he took a bite. He was like, you know what, man? He's like, I'm gonna be real. He's like, this is actually good. He's like, this is great. He's like, can I get one more pizza? He said, give me one more piece. I'm gonna leave you all alone. He just took another piece and went and watched the football game. That was like one of the best. You know what? To be real, this is where I'm gonna say jail isn't bad. I won. You know those? What do they call them? Like when you do the grid like raffle things?
Squares, yeah.
Yeah, squares.
Yeah.
I won the squares. I won like one quarter. Like I had the right numbers I had the right numbers. Man, I got like $75 worth of commissary, which is like street value like $8,000. And it was like, dude, it was like, I mean, it sucked. Like, you know, I was away from family and friends. You know, you have the social stigmata of being in jail.
But at least you was jail rich.
Dude, I was balling, dude. I was balling. I got a job as a paralegal in the legal library there. Not a paralegal, I guess. I forget what they call it, but you just push paper for people.
A C lawyer.
Yeah, pretty much. And I got a job that was fun, dude, working in the library because you get all access to all the newspapers and books and shit like that. And newspapers, everybody, were a hot commodity in there because everybody would want to read the newspaper because you didn't have shit. Well, now they have tablets and shit, which is wild. But
wow.
See, do you see how they upgrade?
Yeah.
Yeah, if you was in jail somewhere else, you still had them loose leaves.
I mean,
RSW has tablets. That's like the whole hustle there. You get. And there's the thing that so on the tablets you have entertainment. You can watch movies, you can listen to radio, you can do all that stuff, but you have to earn points. You can't buy points. You have to earn points by taking like classes or like about behavioral stuff or like math classes or English classes or German classes, whatever. They have all these classes you can take. Now there are people in jail that hustle like this, the nerdy dudes, and they have two tablets, right? They'll have one that's already all queued up with all the answers in it, and then they'll take somebody else's tablet. And they will literally just transfer the number, like those go doing all of the tests and everything that it takes, like, and they'll give them like 5 soups, right, which is $5, and they'll give you 5,000 points, which is like 2 weeks worth of nonstop entertainment. Man, it was fantastic. That was one of my favorite things about it. I watched Prometheus. I watched Wolverine. I watched. Shit, I'm trying to think of the other movies I watch. Interstellar. You watch it when you're incarcerated and you watch a movie like Interstellar, like you really you feel that shit's like 4D, you know? All right, sorry about that romantic.
There's like I have to wonder, is there a huge difference between jail and prison?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, because like obviously if you commit a crime that's super bad, you're going to
prison is way better.
Really?
Yes. Not for me personally, but
Okay.
I've never actually had the pleasure of making it. They call it going down the road. You know, the people that have been to prison and know how to survive in that element, you have a lot more freedom. Like you can go outside. You like when in jail and county lockup, more times than not, they have like very regimented hourly things. Like you go out for 3 hours, you're in for 2 hours, out for 3 hours, in for 2 hours, in for 8 hours, and then so on and so forth. In prison, it's kind of like you're out for 20 hours and you're in for 4 hours. Like, you know, they kind of like, it's like that. And you have a lot more like, and because the prison industrial complex likes to make money, they make the money they make off of the amenities that they sell to the prisoners. And now prisoners can get cell phones and computers, and because they said, fuck it, it's so easy to make, they're like, fuck it, it's going to be, you guys are going to sneak it in anyways. We might as well make money off it.
Next they're going to have a dispensary.
In California,
yes.
you can possess if you have a medical card, you can possess cannabis, but you cannot possess anything to ignite the cannabis. And so like that's like I think you can't smoke it, or you can't have something to ignite. I think it's both of them because you really shouldn't have a lighter inside of it.
So you eat it?
You vape it?
No, they fucking smoke it. It's just fucking like it's like one of those dumb rules. It's like one of those dumb rules that they have. But like yeah, in California that's a thing. When I got to jail, they had just made cigarettes.
You want to hear something crazy?
Yeah.
I don't know this, but I'm just gonna guess. They probably have some kind of wine manufacturing in California jails too.
In every jail,
think
sir.
about it. Yeah, well, I mean, like not even like like for real, like under somebody.
Turlet.
Yeah, like
Turlet
not the turlet ones. I mean, like for real, like real nice facilities that allow people that are in jail to still make wine and
that's a
other
good
kind of
question.
hooch right? Not toilet water.
They probably got
You know what I'm
sprayed in
saying?
the camp jail.
Like, think about it, right? So if they're already doing stuff like
California's probably. I would say California might have some.
monopolized, like get that money.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, they're probably not in like
We don't
Napa, you know, those kind of areas, but I mean, not far away. You know what I'm saying? Where you can still ship juice.
yeah.
And if this is not a thing, then
Huh.
it's a good business.
It's a great fucking business opportunity.
Man, yeah.
Right?
Jail's
LLC under the fucking
Prison
under
wine.
a prison, like yeah. What? Listen, let me go to what?
Toilet
Yeah,
wine.
come on, like for real. Hey, listen, you ever seen that show, The Last OG with Tracy Morgan?
Yeah.
You seen that shit? Okay, so him making his culinary claim to fame was prison food,
Mhm.
right? So just taking all this in, prison food. But if you spin it off on something like that, and if you think even the fact of maybe not Napa, Sonoma, those part of nice areas of California, right? But like not far away, like San Jose type shit, where you can still crush the grapes and juices and all that stuff like that to make it under somewhere else in a large facility. Yeah,
you
it's
know what?
probably
You should,
somewhere
or you should start a company out in San Jose.
Right. You know what I mean? Like,
The
So
great
instead of
gotta be
like
somewhere.
instead of like prisoners like cleaning up trash on
or
the highway,
making
they're
license
now
plates.
stomping grapes.
Right. So
Stop stomping your opponent. Start stomping grapes.
Listen, it's like
Is that
It's
Let's
a
Go to
great
Prison?
idea.
yeah.
Have you ever seen the movie Let's Go to Prison?
No.
No.
It's with Dax Shepard and Will
sure it's out
Arnett and Chi McBride, and it's an older movie. It's like from like 2002 or something. But it's about this guy, and he has the very unfortunate circumstance of ending up in going through the system over and over again throughout his entire life, and he has the same judge. So he wants the exact revenge on the judge when he gets out of prison the last time, and he goes to kill him, and the guy's dead. He dies of a heart attack right before he gets there. So his next point of vengeance, he's like, you know what? I'm gonna fuck his son's life all the way up. So he gets his son. He forces the hand of the son of this lawyer or this judge to end up getting incarcerated, so that he gets himself incarcerated so he can go and fuck with this guy in jail. And then there's just like a whole series of events happens, and the judge's son who went in there is like, you know, the hoity-toity kind of like white dude ends up taking over the whole prison or whatever. But it's a comedy, and it's got Chi McBride in it, and they make baby duck toilet wine, yeah, toilet Merlot. Yeah,
That's why
it scored a 90. It scored a 98 in Wine Spectator.
Whenever you start
Listen,
talking about smashing grapes, this is the video.
Oh yeah, that was like
yeah.
that's in Middleburg.
I remember
Yep.
like listening
Channel
to
5.
that. Yep. I was eating my cereal when this happened. Oh.
I can't breathe.
That's not even the best part when they come back in. Listen to the other anchors.
Oh no. Yeah, I was eating my cereal when that
Yep.
happened. It was awesome. I was like, that
Waiting for the bus. Yo, that lady died?
no, I think she's still alive.
Oh.
She got the wind knocked out of her.
I'm,
You know,
I'm
it's-
really about to look into that though, because think about it, linking, yeah.
Mm.
Yeah,
I'm
Yeah.
gonna chase that one.
it would be like Lucy was that episode of I Love Lucy when they're stomping the grapes. That's whatever I think about people stomping grapes. That's what I think of.
It's a thing too, though. It's a thing.
You know what also is a thing?
People stomping balls.
Exactly. Listen.
Oh, it is time for my theme. Where I talk about like horror movies that has nothing to do with the conversation that we were just having, but because I am the spooky person of the trifecta, quadfecta, like right now, that's what I'm going to talk about. And this year, I'm doing unsuspecting horror movies, like unsuspecting protagonists, where you watch the movie and you don't know the guy's a fucking bad guy until like halfway, whatever, towards the end. You know, it's just the way it is. So next week is the Santa Claus. I know that a lot of you guys were excited about Santa Claus horror movies, but that's not going to be a thing this week. It is unsuspecting Christmas horror movies. And the first on my list is Gremlins. Yes, Gremlins, 1984, directed by Joe Dante. A gadget salesman is looking for a special gift for his son. Oh, how touching. He doesn't get to buy it from the owner, but he does buy it from the little shops like grandson. And he warns him like, hey, these are the warnings. You need to adhere to these warnings. He doesn't adhere to any of the fucking warnings. And then all hell breaks loose when the gremlins or the Mogwai decides to multiply and turn into gremlins and overtake the town. So, yes, unsuspecting because you think it's like cute little tiny like weird Chinese pet. And then it turns into a menace. So, yes, everyone has seen. Although I've met a couple of people that have never seen Gremlins before, and I look at them like they've got a dick growing out of their.
Long. I know what a gremlin is, and
I've met like two
how old
like
are these
late millennials, not like early older millennials, but late millennials. Like, I've never seen that before, and I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? It's a great movie. Go watch it. Fantastic. I like it. That's why it's on my list.
I remember they used to give you those McDonald's Square records.
Yes.
That told the story, and it had the Mogwai sing on.
Yes. I love it. Anyways, number 4, P2, 2007, directed by Frank Calhoun. Angela is working late on Christmas Eve. When she finally decides to leave, she goes down to the parking lot to get her car, but it won't start. And the parking attendant is there to help her. But then the garage's security offers help. He also invites Angela to dinner. She refuses. Thomas is crazed. He knocks her out. And then, like, chaos ensues. So he's like this nice parking attendant, unassuming, and then becomes evil. Watch the movie. It's actually pretty fucked up and gory. And I liked it. Like, it's pretty good. I'm like, now, like, I have this new fear of parking garages. So, like, I will, if I go into the city, I'm like, I'd rather park above somewhere on the street and risk, by myself in the middle of the night getting mugged than being in a parking garage where I'm going to get stuck by a homicidal maniac. So, yeah, great movie. Unsuspecting protagonist. The next one, number 3, is The Lodge. Yes, 2019, directed by Franz and Fiala. During a family retreat to a remote winter cabin over the holidays, a father is forced to abruptly leave for work, leaving his 2 children in the care of his new girlfriend, who ends up becoming unhinged, isolated, and alone. A blizzard traps them inside the lodge as terrifying events summon specters from Grace's dark past. Yes, your dad left you with his crazy fucking girlfriend. Watch the movie. It's actually on Shudder right now. It's really good and a really good ending. And kind of a play on like why you should respect your fucking elders. No matter how crazy they are, don't fuck with them because they might be crazy. Better Watch Out. That's 2016, directed by Chris Peckover. Ashley travels to the suburban home of the Learners to babysit their 12-year-old son Luke during the holidays. She must soon defend herself and the young boy when unwelcome intruders announce their arrival. Now, this is like the perfect, like, unsuspecting like Christmas horror, because you think like, oh, it's these 2 kids that are defending themselves, and then I'm gonna spoil it for anybody that hasn't seen it, and you find out this little kid is kind of a fucking crazy little motherfucker. So yes, perfect for unsuspecting protagonist that ends up in the middle of the film. Great movie. It's on Netflix, right? Yeah, Netflix and also Shudder. All right, and the final one. And I was going to put this on multiple lists this year because this is my favorite, absolute favorite horror movie ever. Not quite set in Christmas, but it is a winter wonderland, sort of. It is The Shining, 1980, Stanley Kubrick. Jack Torrance becomes a winter caretaker at an isolated overlook hotel in Colorado, hoping to cure his writer's block. He settles in with his wife and his child, and as the time progresses and he starts getting cabin fever, things sort of unfold. Ghost stories type of stuff. You don't know that he is like a terrible human being until like midway of the film. What can I say about this movie? I cannot believe like there are people that same thing with Gremlins. You've never seen this movie. It is a fantastic film. You need to see it. It's not gory. It is a ghost story, essentially. That in my mind, a ghost psychological story. You got to watch it. It's a perfect film. Perfect.
Yep.
Yeah. I don't think there's any horror movie that tops The Shining, in my opinion.
The Shining.
Anyway.
The Shining.
The Shining, yeah.
Yeah, The Shining. So if you guys have any suggestions on unsuspecting protagonist films, especially with Christmas and horror, please let me know. Those are my 5. Next week I will have 10 of them, and they are Santa Claus and Hanukkah related.
There's my Hanukkah films.
Yeah, I have Hanukkah. I mean, I would include like other ones, but there's not.
There's no Kwanzaa horror movie.
There's no
I
Kwanzaa.
don't celebrate Kwanzaa or Hanukkah or Christmas.
There's also no like Yule ones, which is weird.
Isn't there a movie called Yule?
There is a Krampus one.
Yeah, but isn't there? I thought there was a horror movie called Yule. I'm
Is
pretty
there?
sure. Yeah, I think it's one called Yule. I was like,
Ooh, I've not seen
hold
that
on, I'll
one,
look
so
it up.
now you're
Hold
gonna have
on,
to
let
look
me-
it up for me. I have not
I'm looking
seen
it
that
up right
one.
now. I feel like I feel
my
like
homework.
I've seen it.
I haven't seen hardly any of those movies. You just
Really?
named. Gremlins and The Shining, yes, obviously, but the rest of the
Okay.
three.
Man, I like that's all
I was locked
watched.
into the commentary. I was like, oh, I'm just
I
decide
love,
which one I'm gonna fall asleep to.
I love horror movies. You know what? Watch P2 is a lot of screaming, so you wake up. Watch The Lodge. It
yeah,
is a
that's the
very.
one I was thinking about too. 'Cause I
It's
was
a
like,
very like amber, like it's like
Yule
I'm
log
gonna-
is the name of the
Yule-
movie. Yes, Yule
Yule-
log.
Yule.
What starts as a simple Yule log feed devolves into a surrealist nightmare as a couple and a group of podcasters spend the night in a double book cabin that is secretly occupied by evil and murderous forces. It's a Adult Swim movie, by the way.
oh, absolutely, yeah, I'm on it.
And there's also Yule log 2 as well.
It was so good they had to do it twice.
So nice.
Had to do it twice.
Yeah.
Yes, check out The Lodge because that's like one of those movies where you're like, "Fuck them kids." Yeah,
Yeah,
and
sometimes
but then
I read it
like
already.
yeah, and then you're like, "Wait, fuck her too." It's good. It's quiet. There's not a lot. There's no screaming or anything that's gonna wake you up. It's a good like settle in, fall asleep, and then wake up and be like, "Wow, that was fucking weird. I just had the weirdest dream." Yeah.
So next week, who do we have? You found the calendar.
I
you
did.
said?
I found the I found the calendar. Next week, I believe it's Papa Joe, but he was seeming a little bit wishy-washy about it. So I'll touch base on that. Otherwise, we'll figure out a better situation.
It is the Christmas show, so
Phil, you listening?
yes,
Yeah.
I bring presents. Well, cookies. I bring cookies.
That's a
you-
present, man. You talk in jail.
Yeah.
Cookies actually are a very, very hot.
do,
I've seen
you
fights
know
break
me.
out over cookies.
I love holidays. I always
I'm
bring
just saying,
food
my favorite are
baskets or
chocolate
some-
chips. You know that chocolate.
That's not a fucking Christmas cookie. What are you talking about?
Toll House?
Is it chocolate chip? That's not Christmas.
Don't you
cookie.
downplay my fattery? I like chocolate chip cookies. Goddamn.
I'm gonna bring you little gingerbreads now. Just to
They don't have chocolate
Piss you
chips in them.
no, or them German jokes. What are they called?
The glockenspiel. I don't
No,
know.
not,
Snickerdoodle,
no, not the Snickerdoodle.
The
the Farfignugan.
No, Pfeffernusse. The
okay.
little like the
powdery ones.
Yeah.
Lost
Yeah.
me too. I don't speak
Yum.
German. That's why I got no
Yum.
German
The
shit.
Schweinbraten. The Schnappbraten.
If it's a cookie
Yeah.
and I can eat it, then I'm gonna eat it.
Yeah,
Man,
it
I had a
doesn't matter
bratwurst
what it's-
actually earlier today. It was delicious.
Mm.
It was one of the good, like that Aldi brand.
I
The
bet you
the
did.
German ones. I forget the brand from Germany, but it's the one they have at Aldi. Aldi, by the way, shout out to Aldi for being Aldi. I love Aldi.
I haven't been there in a while.
Dude, I want to go
should
to Lidl.
Yeah, dude, Lidl's a straight
I've
shit.
never been there.
All right, show trip to Lidl.
Yeah, maybe we should do a show at Lidl.
Oh,
Yes.
they will
In-
kick us out so
No,
fast.
but
They'll be
look-
like, "You think we gonna make you
Promo.
pay for this cart? And you just gonna be able to broadcast it here?
We'll just do it from
Get
like,
away from our croissants."
We'll do it from like the back of your truck in the parking lot. We'll like tailgate. We could do a show where we go into Lidl. We could bring like a little cassette burner. I have a little portable induction too. We could bring out like some couple pieces of portable cookery, and like we could do a tailgate in Lidl parking lot. The Helltown,
if the
Helltown tailgate.
If the Commanders make the playoffs.
All right,
listen,
the Lidl.
Listen,
we're gonna get the dude. Helltown gets lit at Lidl. Yes, I think I'm down to do this.
They have
like,
croissants though.
Yeah, I'm down as fuck to do this. By the way, like
I don't even know what Lidl is, but it sounds like a grocery store.
Like so it's a grocery store. So it's like
Aldi.
It's like a foreign.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like when you said
way bigger.
Yeah, but it's nice though.
It sort of reminds me of like a European Trader Joe's.
All right, so that's all you had to say was it was nice. That's all you had to say. Like, like I got it. Like, yeah, we should have a tailgate. Hey, listen, Commanders, y'all make the playoffs. I done been to like 3 or 4 y'all games already. So if y'all make the playoffs, tailgate at Lidl's. What's up?
Tailgate at Lidl
January,
is
come rain or shine.
All right,
like
man.
for real.
You know what? We're gonna have to bring out the Sprinter van.
I mean,
or the Escalade.
Whatever.
We'll bring an SSMG. We'll be in the house. We can get DJ Yanni. We'll get Yanni to DJ.
Oh Lord, he better get that van painted. Yeah. He goes anywhere past like Haymarket. They're gonna be like, hey,
I get turned on by it.
What's up with this van, young man?
Whenever I see his van, I'm like, oh yay, Yanni's here. That's my first thought.
I'm just saying for Christmas, or for Halloween next year, if he doesn't dress up as fucking Buffalo Bill, he needs to.
He kind of dresses like Buffalo Bill every day.
Nah. I'm talking like...
Would you fuck me?
Yeah.
I'd fuck me.
I'd fuck me hard. Oh, wait. Was she a great big fat person?
I love that movie. I actually Googled like the sequence of all the... Because I just got done binging the Hannibal series. I had never seen it before. I keep like seeing it advertised and I was like, maybe... And now I'm like completely enamored.
You know what? You want to talk? A time in my life where I've near fainted in a movie is is it in Hannibal when he's eating Ray Liotta's brain?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and Ray's eating it too.
Yeah, he's like, that's nice.
It smells good.
I fucking faint. Like they started that scene, and I was like,
when he looks over at her, he's like, hey.
You don't want to see the series then. Have you seen it?
No, I'm good.
Yeah,
it's pretty... So you know what, as a result,
there's some scenes in there that are like, wow, where they like he's like doing his thing and then all of a sudden they're at a dinner table and he's like and then he like spits out this like really fancy like confit arashara on a loin or whatever. It's like really fancy words. But it's actually people. They're eating people.
I said I passed a long time ago. I'm good.
They're eating people.
Eating people. Sweetbreads.
Yum.
I prepared sweetbreads. All right. Lita.
Yes.
Where do people find that art?
You can look at my online portfolio on Instagram. That is odd all _ I haven't really posted a lot of stuff because I'm so busy making my friends Yule gifts this year. So, but I will be posting stuff at the beginning of the year next year, and I'll be preparing for the wine festival in spring and of course the fall festival. So yeah, just keep your eyes peeled for new artwork, but for right now I'm on hiatus while I create presents for my dearest friends.
Yeah.
Chris.
Okay, it's gonna be a week. It's been a week of funnies. We had a great night last night at the open mic. Congratulations, George. That was good times, man. We had 8 comedians come out, man. I tell you, who would have thought that the Catamount Lounge on Main Street in Front Royal would become the comedy powerhouse in the Shenandoah Valley. But yeah, we had a great turnout. Everybody did a really good job. It was fun. That girl didn't fuck the cactus. And I didn't get a chance to really tell, I didn't get to finish my joke about it, but she said she'd be back next week, so I'll incorporate it into next week's set because I think we're gonna have another good turnout. But I'll be out tomorrow night either at Hog Shack with my boys, the Black and White boys, Connor Williams and Ace Jackson. Also, but I just met a nice guy, Gabe, and I'm trying not to butcher his last name, so I'm trying to. Papasu. Gabe Papasu. He's hosts a open mic with Earl Wyatt at the Simple Bar in Northwest at 5802 Georgia Avenue. I think I'm actually going to venture to the city. I don't know, Derek. Dedrick, if you want to fly with me up there, man, we can. I know you want to do something. He jumped on stage yesterday.
If you want to find out where I'm going to be at, it's like catch the chef.
Yeah.
You like
How's
that
you
one?
doing? Yeah, so I'll be there. Then this Saturday we could be with be one of the opening acts for we have Angela Robinson's coming back, the beautiful Angela Robinson, and Dwayne White. I almost said Dwayne Johnson. Dwayne the Rock Johnson's coming.
Dwayne White is my brother.
Yes.
No, for real.
Oh,
Forrest Dwayne White. I'm
right.
not even kidding.
That's awesome.
Love that boy. Yeah.
Oh, man. Very aptly named, I'm sure. And so we will be doing the Brick House. Tina Songbird will be there as well. We'll be doing our Helltown comedy thing. And then next week, I'll be doing the Heckler's Ball with our boy John Yeager. If anybody wants to go with that, that's gonna be a wild time, man. That's a crazy event. That was the third time I ever did comedy, and we talked about it, I think, on the show. Third time I ever did it, I was blindsided. They, like, Ace and Connor were like, yeah, just holler at our boy, he'll take care of you, and he did. He put me on stage and turned me out like the dirty little pig I am. But no, it was a good time. So those are my plugs. I'll be at the Catamount Lounge all the other nights, slinging drinks, telling jokes, being moderately handsome, like a mumble rap Drew Carey. Dude, I watched the True Murder Story I watched today. I watched back to back, and it was weird because one was Homicide Hunter, and then the other one was Killer Cases. Was about the same. It was about Drew Carey's ex fiance.
Yep.
Yeah, dude, it was wild as hell, and I was like,
crazy, dude.
Yeah, dude,
that was wild.
yeah, dude. So, anyways, that's crazy. So, that's where I'm at. Dedrick, why don't you go ahead and plug yourself away here?
So I'm gonna give a shout out to Drew Carey. You know why I'm gonna give a shout out to Drew Carey?
Why is that?
You know Drew Carey was a Marine. Anyway, so where will I be?
Did not know that.
Yeah, see, fun facts. That's what we teach you in history too. But yeah, so where you'll find me? I don't know. You'll find me in St. Louis. I don't. Just call me, text me. You know, I'm around. You never know where I'm at. But as far as live gigs and things that I'm doing the Light Flight, doing that this whole month, a couple different things. Find me on my website and all that good stuff like that. So you'll find me. And if not, don't.
Dun-dun-dun.
Dun-dun-dun, because Dedrick's out. Face to the black with all his dead comedy jokes.
You can go
I gotta
over.
get people to get my name right. Dedrick.
Dedrick.
Dead
Now that he said
Drick.
it wrong like a few times, I'm like, it's like
you know what I'm
stuck-
saying?
it's
But look,
like
I get called all kinds of things.
Dirty
Dedrick.
Diddler.
Okay, I gotta say it 3 times, Dedrick.
He's
Like
known as-
Beetlejuice.
Dedrick.
He's known as
Okay.
the non-felonious.
So I don't remember because I'll see you and I'll say it the wrong way, and I'm like, God damn, I feel stupid.
He's the non-felonious P. Diddy of the Shenandoah
See,
Valley.
he keep trying to make that. It's not gonna stick. I
It's
ain't
gonna
got no baby oil, but the cologne one, that was funny though. I do. I be trying to smell nice.
Oh, it's great. I'll be like, whenever I go there, I'm like, oh, that's awesome. And that's it. After I smoke, I always spray a little bit because I don't want to. I'd rather it smell like it than, I'm like,
You always smell like weed. Shut up.
You smell like flowers.
Yeah,
and
I
weed.
laugh every time you come in at open mic right before you're gonna get on stage because I know you smoked, and it's like,
it's part of the effect of the show. I mean, like some people have pyrotechnics. I like to come in with the smoke screen. Come in, get the crowd ready for what they're about to hear.
they're gonna hear it. You go over to at Helltown Radio on all the socials. Mine is Dirtbag Radio. I don't know. There's probably some songs on there. I play songs. You might catch me on Monday night. Playing music, saying things like "Jack your own manhammer." I did it. I did that. I switched lyrics, and only Phil noticed. So thank you, Phil, for noticing. Also, go over to Capital MMA. 8 local locations. You can learn how to do sit-ups and strangle motherfuckers and head kick people. It's your week. You can suplex that shit. Bye.
Hasta la vista,
Bye.
baby.